What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another MVP video for you. Hope you are enjoying the series so far. Super simple one today. We're just testing out, dialing in our putter lineup. We got the Tempo, we got the James Conrad. Why can I never remember the name of the disc? Nomad, but the Halloween edition. We got a proxy and a stabilizer. Putting the NVs right now, as you guys know, and I'm honestly out of nowhere absolutely loving them. We're at Cornwall Park in Bellingham, Washington. 9 holes. Beautiful little track right here. This is like putter, just ace run fun. It's just a beautiful little track. Let's get right into it.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
I still have like mixed feelings on the Tempo because when I initially tried the Tempo, I liked it, but I thought it went too far. It was more of a mid-range for me, and so I didn't bag it in that Zone SS slot. But obviously now that we're only throwing MVP, we gotta kind of revisit it and kind of see how it flies. We're gonna go proxy. I love the proxy. That's why I like it. Stable out, come on. Ah, I think if I hit that same shot with the stabilizer, it might work. Off the tree and in. Oh, pretty solid there on hole 1. My hands are absolutely freezing right now. Oh, you just gotta follow through. The biggest surprise to me is how much I love putting these NVs. Dang. Oh, I love it. Go in. Ah. Stay stable. Solid shot. You guys want to know like the most toxic Frolf tuber trait ever is this Nomad was a perfect shot, and it slid up to 5 feet, but it was really low and I didn't really like, it wasn't what I was trying to do, and it doesn't look as good on camera because it kind of looks like I just threw it straight into the ground, but that doesn't matter when you're 5 feet away. But as a content creator, you want the shots to look nice, even if the result is a park job. It's such a weird like thing, I guess, to have to worry about. Is the results matter, but I honestly would rather have the shot look really nice, ace run, and go 40 feet deep. So I love a good beaded throwing putter. Pa3, the Wizards are nice, and the Nomad, I kind of feel like falls right into that category. It's a little bit deeper than a lot of the MVP putters, and the slight bead I feel like keeps that nice initial stability. You can put it on a little flex and it'll kind of pan out nice and flat. I don't like black discs, which is like 50% of the reason why I don't want to like this disc. Maybe if I just got a different color it'd be better, but I feel like Nomads, I hear a lot of people putting them but not really throwing them. Another beauty of a hole right here. Little raised basket. Kind of a hole where if you ace run it, you might be playing yourself. Yo, I might have just aced it. Oh, I thought I was doing some Simon Lizotte things right there. That was like one of my most for sure feeling, like I threw that and I thought there was no way that it could miss, but too low. The Nomad stability, that's a park job. Nomad stability is kind of surprising me. It's like kind of the type of disc I feel like if you put it on hyzer, you're not really getting a flip up out of it. But if you put it on Annie, you obviously get a nice little Annie push out of it. It's becoming a really good disc. Right before I started this MVP challenge, I was looking for, a stable Pa3. I was trying the Wizard, but they beat up so fast and kind of lost the stability. This premium Nomad, it's making a run for me, honestly. I'm really liking the stability of it. Nice stally little flexor. Tempo's more of a forehand disc for me, definitely. But we'll see how it compares to the stabilizer. Those are, like, I don't know, it's weird. The putters I feel like dialed with. It's one of them things where MVP, I feel like, is one of the companies where people tend to throw premium plastic putters. Whereas, a lot of people for different brands like to, get like the beat up base stuff or whatever, but I don't see many people that bag MVP throwing beat up baseline MVP putters. They just stick to the premium. Maybe because the premium really, it does feel amazing. It kind of seems like you can really trust a putter when it's premium. And I've always been a base plastic putter thrower. I mean, everyone pretty much knows it. It's no new thing. I'm not discovering that MVP putters are goated, but they are very, very good. Proxy Ace Run was honestly pretty money. Little broad. This stupid branch. Surprisingly, the tempo, because I always feel like it's so fast, came up actually the shortest. Ah. And then the Nomad over here. My first little toss through this track a couple days ago. I caged this one with the stabilizer, so right away we're just gonna try and ching it up. These types of holes, I love this course because they kept the fairways clean. You could be on a course like this where you have these beautiful trees on the side, but then there's, trees littering the middle of the fairway, which is fine, keeps it a little more challenging. But I think a course like this, allowing the fairways to basically be dead straight wide open, you got a couple trees side to side keeping it honest, but it just makes for a really enjoyable round. Like, you could play this course and unless you throw like shit, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Did it? Yep. No way! Dude! Stay up. Stay up. Oh! Hold it. Come on. I mean, it's safe to say these MVP putters go really, really straight. There's the height. Come on. I'll be honest, guys. These MVP putters. Look at this. Look at this spread of shots. Obviously, it's a 250-foot hole, but that is consistency. You can kind of. I just feel like this little lineup right here. I'm definitely feeling the stabilizer more than the tempo on backhand, just because I like the deeper feel for my putter grip. But tempo on forehand, it's still something. I don't think MVP has a better option for me right now, so it'll probably stick around. So I've obviously gotten some comments about the Envy, saying that I should throw the Envy. I know the Envy is a great disc, nothing wrong with it, but in my experience, anything you want to do with an Envy, you can do better with a Proxy. Kind of a tricky little angle right here. The basket's just down that right side gap. Stabilizer's too stable for that shot. That's the one thing I don't not like it. I like it actually because it's so consistent, but that's where kind of the Nomad comes into play, is if I threw that same shot, it'll hold the flex a little better. Unless I hit the, yeah, that's not very good either actually. Good shot. So the other day I was in the local disc golf shop and I was feeling up all the putters. And the MVP Ion, released in 2009, I think, if I'm right. It was released when I, was pretty early on and had probably been playing disc golf for a year or two. And back in the day, if you didn't pick up an Ion when they first came out, like, that was like the coolest putter you could get. The whatever the see-through MVP plastic is in the soft, if you didn't pick up one of those and start putting it, like, you basically were a loser out on the disc golf course. And so it's funny because for a long time, I kind of didn't even know MVP existed besides the Ion. Because for years, I knew obviously the Ion, it was like a classic disc. And Then there was that time period where MVP was not popular at all, you know, and then they picked up a ton in the recent years, we all know. And it took me a while to realize, like, holy, like, MVP has more discs than just the Ion. Like, I honestly had no clue. And I feel like it was a time period before I guess before Instagram took off for disc golf, because you just didn't really know much unless you seeked it out and maybe tried to dig up content revolving around MVP. And then, you know, MVP blows up and you're like, wait, they have like a full lineup. MVP has so many of these like out of production molds, and they have, at one point they've probably had, you know, other than Innova, like they might have more molds created. They might be out of production, but then Discraft, I could be wrong, but if you go to the MVP website, I think it shows you like all of their molds, even if they're out of production, and there's a lot, which I just find interesting. That, you know, obviously MVP is massive now, but I think for a while, it's kind of the story of every disc golf company, let's be real, but for a while they were just like a little underdog. Like no one was throwing their stuff. They had all these random molds and they'd go out of production. I don't know where I'm getting at, but it's just interesting. The Ion is what started it all, and I threw them, I putted them, and then for a while it's like the company fell off the face of the earth. Got a little like pushing hyzer. Basically it's just a straight shot, but you can at least get a little hyzer angle on it. Whereas I feel like most of the holes, other than the wide open hole 3, have been kind of, I guess, more of like a stall Annie type straight shot. Kind of babied that one. So I feel like I've picked up the idea of like how to control these putters relatively quick. On my Patreon, I'll have a video coming of a behind the scenes look of basically me practicing with the MVP bag out at NSRA, where I'm doing the new Beat the Leader challenge, and it's kind of behind the scenes trying to figure out the plays for when I go out there next for my next attempt at the challenge. And it's safe to say a lot of the drivers they were throwing me for a loop. I'll just put it that way, I guess. But the putters, they're just feeling very good. I'm really just enjoying them. Oh, if that was the Nomad, man. The biggest thing with the stabilizer is I'm trying to figure out how far I can get it to fly straight before hyzering, because I think that's going to be the key of like, can I hit the stabilizer nice and firm, and then just get that super consistent fade left. And you kind of got to dial in the distances with it, I guess. Love that. But that's even a little stable. I feel like I've thrown 3 shots in a row that are just identical. And then I'm going to try the tempo forehand, kind of like a little turnover. Oh, yeah. A little short, but man, that is a tempo shot. That overstable approach to this category is such a similar category. Like, let's be real, they all kind of do the same thing. But for a player like me who likes to throw flex forehand, not even flex forehand, like anhyzer pan out forehands, so I don't really want them to hyzer back at all. The stability differences, I feel like, matter a little bit more than people who might just use that zone slot as literally just a hyzer shot. So that's why I feel like I really gotta dial in this tempo. I will say all these shots weren't exactly what I wanted, but this is quite the spread of consistency. But it's also funny because you got Proxy, Stabilizer, Nomad, which are all, I would consider them to be like pretty different stabilities, yet they all flew exactly the same. Oh, just a pull on the left side. Obviously when I get up to like 40 feet, the NVs are good to like kind of hang them out and then let them crash. But any putter inside maybe 30, but at least 25 is never gonna have time to actually fade. So a lot of times my miss right now will be, I'll hit just the left side chain, and obviously not, I'll miss it, you know, just off the left side chain, because that's where I'm aiming. which is such a simple mistake to fix of, I think because it's an NV, it's gonna fade in. But like, bro, you're 20 feet away, it's just gonna go straight. So easy thing to fix. I just need to make a mental note. I can't really fix that. Little 225 footer, give or take. Oh, I freaking skied it. That's horrible. Push through the tree. Oh, the double tree kick. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know I actually bagged a soft proxy for like probably 6 months. It was like my favorite putter. I've said it a million times. I love so many throwing putters. I just constantly like rotate them through. Oh, I like that a lot. Come on. Come on. Oh. Yeah, see, that's fine, but I'm not confident in how that comes out of my hand at all. Which is kind of why I feel like I'll need the stabilizer and the tempo, even though they're pretty similar, I would say. The stabilizer, I think, if you hit it hard, flat, is going to be more overstable than the tempo is going to be, but more or less same kind of thing. Here's the real question though. Do I even need to try more MVP putters? Because I really think this combo right here is money. Honestly thought I would just be proxy, stabilizer. The Nomad though is really making a case for itself. Let's make this putt. Here's a question. Does anyone out there have white on white, soft or medium envies? Matching pair for putting. You let me know, because these are working well. But I like a good white on white, which I know with MVP is a hard thing to find. Now this putt, this is a beauty. Oh yeah. So obviously I still hate raised basket putts because when you miss them, it's just the worst thing ever. But when you make them, they're so satisfying. Golly. Stabilizer forehand bird dog. So as a lot of you guys know, my retail sponsors Power Grip USA, and there are tons of new MVP drops coming soon. So I want to send you over there when they do release. Grab them there. Unfortunately, MVP, this is an MVP thing, they do not let you discount their products, I think at all, but definitely online. So any codes never work for MVP, which is so unfortunate. But if you guys do go to powergripusa.com and you get an MVP disc, screenshot your order and DM it to Power Grip and let them know Broad sent you. I would appreciate it. Just because, you know, you gotta take credibility for them sales you're generating. You know what I mean? Also, by the time you're seeing this, there's a good chance I have my Broadbirds in hand. My Broderick Firebirds, Star Firebirds. They look nice. I like them, and they're going to be available very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for those. I know it's a month of MVP, but we still gotta make some promotions and sell some frisbees. So Broadbird's coming soon. Also, any other brands pretty much over on PowerGripUSA.com. Use code Broderick10, saves you 10, directly supports me. Also, guys, Squatch Disc Golf, code Broderick saves you 20 on any non-signature bag. Birdie Disc Golf Supply, code Frisbee Club, saves you 10% on any Birdie Disc Golf Supply molds and directly supports me as well. As well as the Patreon. I don't know if it's available right now, but it could be down in the link. There could be some stuff on there. Check it out. This is a tricky little hole because you really want to hit like a little left to right turnover, but these left side trees, they keep you about as honest as it gets. Yeah, I love that. Is it too stable though? Oh, if I could have hit that throw with the proxy. Stabilizer from the corner pocket of the tee box. Oh God. Keep your eyes peeled on that one. Proxy and tempo are sitting pretty. We gotta try and make this putt from the stabilizer. Absolute shank job, but an absolute shank job on a short course usually ends up with a circle 2 putt. So we might be able to make something happen. Got a little rhubarb in front of us here. Really got to swing this on like a steep, just basically dump it in on hyzer. I think I did it. Oh, a little less. There it is. Oh, stabilizer putt. You know, 1 for 3 from there. That ain't too bad. Hole number 9. This is probably the lowest ceiling to access out here on this course. Tempo side hand, nice little pushy turnovers, but there's actually this big outside hyzer now that we might try and get to with the stabilizer. Not sure I can even throw it that far, if I'm being completely honest, guys, but we are gonna try it. First things first. Little stabilizer pop. I can't remember now. Obviously you can see the gap inside the furthest right tree, but I almost think going out around it is the better play, but I don't think I could throw this disc that far. Of course, I just land right in the branches. I mean, it's a park job, but wasn't really what I was trying to do, you know what I mean? But it worked. Results speak, I guess. All right, tempo. Now, hyzer. Oh, I almost got it off the tree. Gotta swing it basically up on that left side. But there's like one branch to beat, and you gotta kind of crash in. The ceiling on these Annies are gonna be tricky. Oh, I love it though. I love it. Push, push, push. I mean, it's perfect for the park job. Man, your boy Broad is getting a little greedy out here today. We love a good park job, but I'm trying to ching one. All right, Prox. We gotta hit that same line, but just a touch higher, basically. I love it. I love it. I love it. No! We're getting dialed. I feel like if you took every throw from today, 4, I think, off of every tee, the percentage of shots I landed inside circle 1 was very high. Like, I think you could maybe count on one hand, if I remember right, the amount of shots that were outside of the circle off the tee, which is, I think that it just kind of speaks for itself in terms of how good these putters are. They're so good. And they're coming out so clean. I think the switch to like the premium, it doesn't give me the worry of like, oh, if I shank this over, it's gonna burn. It's just like in my head means they're gonna be a little more stable and you can kind of jam on them. I'm super excited later next week to bring you guys the collab, you know, series between Beat the Leader out at NSRA and the MVP bag. For the next week, leading up to that, we're gonna be really trying to dial in this bag because I can't go out there and flop. Gotta improve the score. And it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Let's try and clean up some putts here. Oof. Absolute money. 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 We got some birdies today. Man. You know, I'm a big, I love playing hard disc golf courses, long disc golf courses. But sometimes when you come out to a little course like this, it's just so fun. And it kind of reminds you of like why you start playing this game. Just throw some frisbees in the park, beautiful holes. You can't argue that the PNW just makes you feel some type of way. But man, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.
Drinking Woodford till we drown. We hear word about the party. Bundled up and
Creator of Frisbee Club,
The man,
motherfuckers.
the man, the myth.
And right here, I have a frisbee bag. It holds all my frisbees, the ones I like.